And we're live, Lulu. Oh, okay. Okay, why is it not on? Okay, looks like something's happening. And we're live. Good, good, good. Okay, Lulu. We can do this. Are we gonna do this today? Yes, let's do this. Okay. So, seeing as Lulu's here for this reading, let's start with the Grimalkin Tarot. Okay, so this reading is a relationship reading. I don't usually do specific relationship reading, although with this being February, which is the month of love, due to the popular holiday of Valentine's Day on the 14th of February, I'm doing this relationship reading. It was also suggested to me as well by a viewer. So let's give the people what they want, some relationship readings. Please do take it all with a grain of salt. If anything resonates with you, that's brilliant. If it doesn't resonate with you, then that is absolutely fine. So I just hope that the right spirit guidance comes through to the right person, but it's all about just using your own discernment and see what rings the bell of truth for you, what resonates strongly, and what feels like positive, good advice, and what is something that is actually gonna be helpful and bring a positive change. Okay, so this and the cat is rubbing herself all over my tarot cards. That's a first. Okay. Oh dear. Y'all have got to see this. There she is. Oh dear. She's a funny one. Oh, and she's got my charm bag as well. But anyhow, so this reading, I want to also discuss about what the heck is this thing called love that people love to talk about so much. Ooh, and I'm dropping cards here. Alright, let's pop those in. Four of Cups was on top. I think I will take that one. Okay, Four of Cups. Aha. So this is... I'll show you the card. Look at that poor kitty's face. Does that kitty cat look exciting to you? Does he look excited by anything? Does he look like he's loving life? No, the answer is no. So that kitty, he looks bored to death, bless him. So this is what this card is representing. So this is representing a person who's in a relationship which is really freaking boring. Then again, rather, you'd like to try to do some things to spice things up a bit, bring back a bit more, bring more fun and joy back into it, bring back like the youthfulness, like when you were. It's always different when you're in a relationship when it's brand new. So I feel like if you maybe put a bit more energy, and if it is the want to revive their relationship is reciprocated from both sides, then I feel like that may be a positive outcome for you. but it certainly shows that there is a lot of boredom there, and it's like a stagnant situation. So you're stuck in that situation, and I don't believe anyone's happy there. But it's interesting though, because it with it being in cups, there's 4 cups. It's a lot to do with the emotions, and obviously boredom is an emotion. So also it's showing that 3 cups are full, but then there's another cup which is hovering behind them somewhere, which is kind of like the promise. It's like the promise of something good and fulfilling and joyful. So that is just hovering behind them. It's waiting to be manifested in a way. Okay, so that is the first card. Okay, so I'm just so you know, I'm gonna break these readings into smaller readings rather than just doing one big massive reading. So this is the first reading. I should have said that before. Okay, so on top of there being some boredom, what else would you like us to be aware of? Or the querent, the person who's watching? And okay, what do they need to know? Spirit, please come through for us. Okay. Oh, interesting. Interesting card to pull out. So yeah, there's a very, 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 very big emphasis on love. And it's the Lover's card. And it's interesting that we drew this card because as it's the obvious card to do with love and Valentines, but also that there is a darker side to the card because it doesn't just represent fully happy love. The card really opens your eyes to the fact that love isn't just all dreamy and positive and happy and joyful. Love can sometimes take you to a dark place, and there can be sometimes codependency, stuff like that, like an unbreakable bond which just kind of like ties you together and traps you, and like nobody thrives because, or it either nobody thrives or there's only one person gaining from that relationship. So with a relationship being 2 people, any healthy relationship means that both people are gaining from it and both people are happy. Okay. So the Lover's card. Whew. Let me grab the tarot book and we'll look a bit deeper into that. But that is amazing. I love it when I do a reading and the most perfect card pops out. That seems to happen quite a lot. If you check out some of the other readings that I do, then you will see it happen quite a bit. It really surprises me, but I don't know why it surprises me so much, because it happens a lot. And it's verification that Spirit is coming through. Okay. So what number is the Lover's card? So it's 5, 6. So it's 6, and with it being it's a major arcana card as well, which means, as it's a major arcana card, that means that this is like a very important message and subject, and it kind of, there's like powerful forces at work behind this. So half a lot of the time when that can mean that it is like fated events, like could be a fated relationship, like what's meant to happen is meant to happen, like nothing can really sway you from that predestined end or predestined location wherever the relationship is going. So that can sometimes manifest as a relationship which in the older days they would call it a star-crossed couple or star-crossed lovers. And star-crossed, it often is like when there's a relationship which like quickly sparks up out of nowhere, like people, like you'd lock gazes and suddenly fall in love, and because it's like such a powerful sort of spell, it kind of it clouds the judgment of the lovers or the couple, and they kind of go down a dangerous or toxic road. So that is what we mean by star-crossed lovers. Alright, so for some reason I am not seeing this card. Okay. And I hope I did the right privacy settings. Okay, so good, we are live. Okay. Sorry, I just needed to check that. Because feel free to write a comment and send an emoji if you've got any questions or any insights at all, anything to add, please put it in the comments. Let me know you're there, because I am live and it absolutely looks like there's nobody there. But that is completely fine. Whoever's meant to find this will find it. Okay, so let's pull another card. And before I do, I'm just going to hit that, the bell. So the bells are ringing. So unless you want me to be singing, hit that subscribe button. And even if you do want me to sing, then please still hit the subscribe button. Okay. Okay, Malkin Tarot Spirit Guides, what have you got for us next? Oh, I've almost forgot actually. I was going to read from the book, but I've pulled the Seven of Wands. So this is adding to this narrative. Seven of Wands. So wands represent the element of fire. So again, that can represent turbulence, or even like bringing light to dark things, or bringing things to light. So if there's been like any secrets in a relationship, then I believe that they're likely to be brought to light. Okay, but I'll come back to that card because we was at the Lovers card. Okay, if I can find it, I cannot for the life of me find it in this book. So it's 6, yeah. So it's this one. There it is, okay. So it says the 6s in a reading indicate adaptability and the ability to change in times of difficulty. There is a focus on love. Yep, with the Lovers card, that's obvious. The Lovers card represents attraction, love, beauty, romance, harmony, and trials overcome. This card indicates to yourself that a new relationship will be successful and of deeper significance than previously experienced. If the querent is already involved in a relationship, this card shows that any problems will be overcome and that old bonds are still strong. You should be wary of taking things at surface value and should be aware that situations that appear to be negative may well come good in time. So that's interesting, because that was one of the things that I wanted to mention to you. So here I'm going to come to just a short discussion on what we call love. So love, they sing about love in all of the songs, and it sounds like so romantic, it sounds so beautiful. Like you have songs like What a Feeling. What a Feeling. I can't really sing that one. Well, I can sing it, but yeah, I've kind of lost the tune. But What a Feeling, Kelly Rowland. You have so many love songs, and We Found Love in a Hopeless Place, Rihanna. There's endless love songs, and the love songs, they just make it seem like it's so glamorous and so easy to be in a relationship, but the reality of it is that it's not always sunshine and rainbows, and it's not an easy path for us all. Love, real love, is meant to be a bit challenging at times, and that can often be a signal that you are in a relationship that is worthwhile. Okay, so we have two forms of what people would call love. There is falling in love. So my ideas about this come from the road less travelled, as I don't profess to be like a love counsellor or a psychiatrist or anything along them lines. This is simply my musings from this brilliant book, which was suggested to me by my mentor. So in this book, it outlines that there's two forms of what is love. One is false love and one is real love. And the false love is like falling in love, when people feel like they're falling in love. Like that is like the first initial period in any relationship, when we get that attraction to someone else and we get that buzz and we're all excited and we can't get enough of the other person, and you're magnetic with each other and you're just drawn to each other, and you're suddenly inseparable, even though you've literally just met them and it's not been a long period of time. But this is what falling in love is. It happens suddenly, as all of the songs suggest. You fall in love, and there's the song by Alicia Keys, actually, she talks about falling in and out of love, and this is what I'm talking about as well. This is what is mentioned in that book, The Road Less Travelled, by M. Scott Peck. So he mentions the two forms of love. The falling in love, which is it's not, so don't get me wrong, like that falling in love, that puppy dog eyes and goo goo butterflies, all of that, it feels great when you're in that situation. It feels lovely, you get chemistry, you get attraction, and yeah, who doesn't want to feel like that? But that is initially a false love, because it's only temporary and it's not true and real love. It is just like the first notch of what could possibly be love. So there's a long way to go. So people think when they fall in love that's it, that nothing's going to change, and that's just how their relationship is. But they don't seem to realize that this isn't a fairy tale. Like, when you fall in love, it doesn't mean that everything's going to be sunshine and roses and that you're never going to have arguments, etc., etc., because that's just unrealistic and that's just not the way that love works. So when you fall in love, that means that our ego barriers or ego boundaries, they fall down. So you hear the saying, remember, Beyonce says it in one of her songs, remember those walls I built, baby, they're tumbling down, didn't even put up a fight, didn't even make a sound. So that's talking about this ego barriers, especially if it's in a new relationship, and your ego boundaries and those barriers, them walls are coming down, and you're absorbing the other person into your life and into your little protective bubble, into your own ego, and they just become, it's like they're your everything and they're all you think about and you always want to be together, all of that. So that is what it's like when you're falling in love. So that is the fast love, the fake love, but it's not real love, because if you don't work on love, then it fizzles out. If it's just that, if you're just in that stage. But real love is when when you actually work on your relationship. So when things crop up, when you fall out of love, and when you're actually willing to then work on that relationship to make it last, when against all of the odds, it feels like you've got no logical explanation why you want to be together with this person, but yet you're still going out of your way for this person, and you're still kind of you're still kind of grabbing them in, and you're still stretching your protective bubble around them, and you're still keeping them in your life rather than just letting them fizzle out and die away. So this is what we mean by real love. So I'll just read you what I've wrote, and so we'll go straight to the source. So I believe but do let me know if you like that song, the Beyonce song. I think it's called Halo. Yeah, it is called Halo. Okay. So this is just a short quote from this book that I was mentioning. So, sooner or later, in response to the problems of daily living, individuals will reassert it. So the individual will reassert itself. So rather, when the bubble snaps and you fall out of love. So this is after you've had the quick falling in love, the fast love. So the individual will reassert itself, so you become yourself again, and that person may want to have sex, and the other person may not want to. So it says she wants to go to the movies, he doesn't. He wants to put money in the bank, she wants a dishwasher. She wants to talk about her job, he wants to talk about his. She doesn't like his friend, he doesn't like hers. So both of them, in the privacy of their hearts, begin to come to the sickening realization that they are not one with the beloved, that the beloved has and will continue to have his or her own desires. So that's when you've snapped out of the bubble and you realize that you're not completely one with each other, and there is that separation. So one by one, gradually or suddenly, the ego boundaries snap back into place. Gradually or suddenly, they fall out of love. Once again, they are two separate individuals. At this point, they begin to either dissolve the ties of their relationship or initiate the work of real loving. Okay, so that is what I wanted to share with you. So there's a distinct difference there between the falling in love, the false fast love, that the butterflies that you get, and then the real love, which is initiated by the hard work that you put into it. And it's comes from like when you're being like a graceful person. Like, it may be that there's the Janet Jackson song, "What Have You Done For Me Lately?" So, what have you done for me lately? Da, 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 da. So, if you think of that kind of, in a way, it kind of loosely ties around this theme. Because what have you done for me lately? So if you're still with someone and they've not really done much for you, but you're still willing to show them grace. So by grace, it means that you still love them and you still do things for them, even despite the fact that they've not been doing things and they've not been showing you their love and appreciation. So this is where the real love comes in. So if for all illogical reasons, so that if there's no logical reason there that you should love this person, because the other person may they may have cheated on you, they may not be showing the love back, there may be a number of things, but if for whatever reason you're still in love with them and you still want to make that effort, and you're like literally putting your all into it and you don't know why, then that is real love. Okay, so another way of looking at it is like, if you think of like people who have arranged marriages, like when they first meet, they may not, they're most likely not in love at all, because it's an arranged marriage. You first meet that person and then you live together for so long and then you grow to love them, and that's because they've initiated that work. So they form that bond together and they initiate the hard work, and the grace comes in and the love and all of that goodness becomes formed. The rapport is built through the hard work and through that longevity. Okay, so let's get the regular tarot cards that the kitty's rubbed herself all over. Let's get some black cat energy for this reading. Oops. Alright, a card's just flown out at me. Page of Swords. Okay, so the Page of Swords. So swords in a reading, they often represent someone who is an air sign. So they're likely quick-witted. So let me give you the zodiac for the air sign. So there is, I believe it's Gemini, Aquarius, and what is the other one? I'm literally gonna have to sing all of the zodiac signs at you. It's funny, I can always remember two of the three. If you remember what the third air sign is, please put it in the comments, because my mind has gone blank. Okay, so it will these sword cards, if you get a lot of those in the reading, or if you get even one of them, it can represent a person of the certain air sign, such as one of the ones that I've mentioned or the one that I've forgotten. So you have Gemini. Is it Libra? Ah, I think it's Libra. Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. Yeah, that is it. Okay. So Page of Swords. So it may be that this person kind of comes into your life but the funny thing is that it may not be all the roses, as I was saying. So it may not, you may initially have the falling in love experience, but then like the realness of, and you get to know each other a bit better, and then comes in the the attitude, I want to say, like the attitude of the person, and you really see behind their disguise, and they're quite cocky, I want to say. They're quite cocky and wordy and mouthy and sharp-tongued at times. So yeah, be aware of that. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to pull one of the Mythic Oracle cards. Okay. Spirit, what else would you like to share with us? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. Huh, interesting. So that card has recently popped up in one of my recent readings. So it's the Unknown. So I feel like this is telling you, so it's a reminder really that spirit or the universe is in control. There's like, it's like they say, there's a lot of fish in the sea, and who knows what it's like. Que sera, whatever will be, the future's not ours to see. Which is ironic, as I'm doing a reading, I know, but my point is that essentially we can pick up impressions about the future. Some people may have visions, dreams, whatever, but nobody can know the full future, because nothing is ever really set in stone that much, unless it's like something which is like very strongly destined and fated to happen, which is, I wouldn't say happens that often, because we're here with free will. Okay, so next I'm going to pull one of the Hecate cards. So the Hecate Oracle, what would you like to share with us? Oh, don't drop them. It is super quiet in the chat. Feel free to say hello, or if you've got any questions, if you'd like to put the name of your lover in the chat, or initials even. If you don't want to write a name, you could just drop the initials in, and it will just help to bring a connection, which will make it easier to read. What would you like to share with us, Spirit? Aconite. Ooh, death, it says. Ooh, okay. So yeah, this is quite a dark card. So, that is very interesting. Okay, let me pull the book. So for me, that may signify an ending to a relationship, or some form of end, or maybe it's just showing you that, like, the end of one relationship, or it could even represent like a sort of stop and start, like where you break up and then you get back together and you're stronger than before. Let's read the card to... Oh, picked up the wrong book. Where is the right book? Oh, there it is underneath. Okay. Oh, I can't believe I forgot. I pulled another card out. That was the first card I pulled off camera. So I was going to read what that meant, but we'll come back to that. So 42, Aconite. Okay. So it says, the deadly plant known as aconite was at one time called Ecatius, and is said to have sprung up where the saliva of Cerberus touched the ground. Death is merely another door to which Hecate holds the key. It is the last great mystery, but death, in a symbolic sense, is hugely transformative. It releases everything that is old and outdated. Wolfsbane is toxic and represents the finality of death, but in the skillful hands of the goddess can be positive. Show caution and tread carefully, there's no turning back on some roads. So that is the message there. Oh, okay. Okay, so that is reading 1. So I'm gonna go into the next reading. So I'll move those cards out of the way. So when I do these readings, like, please know that Spirit may connect with multiple people in the same reading. So it's all to do, follow your own intuition, and I've dropped a card. Follow your intuition, and if you feel like guidance is for you. And interestingly enough, in the last reading I got the Hanged Man, and in this reading, even though it's different, the set of tarot, this is the Grimalkin tarot, but we've got the Hanged Man again. So it's interesting, that's tying in with the last card as well, because that was talking about going through transformation, and the Hanged Man is all about finding that enlightenment and going through a transition. Whew, that is crazy. But at the same time, this is the start of a new reading, but I feel like there may be a little crossover there. The Hanged Man. And again, so this is a very powerful message, as the Hanged Man is from the major arcana. Although it doesn't mean anything harmful, it doesn't mean like you're gonna get hanged or anything like that. The Hanged Man, it represents Odin or Woden, who comes from the Norse traditions. He hung himself from the world tree purposefully because he was using the fact that he was hanging from the tree to put himself into a meditative state, and when he did, he received like more wisdom, knowledge and magic, and whilst he was meditating he received the Elder Futhark, which are the runes that we like to use as witches. Okay, so I'm gonna grab the book to see what this book specifically says about the Hanged Man, because it may be a different message to what I've shared previously. So let's see if there's another message in there from Spirit. Okay. Ooh, excusez-moi. Okay. So the Hanged Man. So that is 10 plus 2 equals 12. Okay. So it says, the crows had poor Rocky, a diminutive cat, by the tail, hanging him just above the ground. There was little the cat could do at this point other than come to terms with the fact that today was not going to be the day that he would feast on eggs. That day would come soon. However, sadly for the young birds, Rocky had spied a nest full of eggs and constructed a plan that he assumed would lead to a quick success. What Rocky didn't plan on was a crow off in the distance, serving as a scout, and once the call was made, his plan quickly took a different turn. Sometimes there are forces beyond our control that grab us by the tail, and as a result, our plans are put on hold. Getting your knickers in a twist isn't going to change the circumstances and will only result in frustration. Take this forced time out as an opportunity to see your situation from a different perspective. That's always good. The time may reveal new insights that you had overlooked. Through suspension and releasing control over what it is you desire, you will discover growth and progress. The Hanged Man brings a message of relinquishing your need to have things be exactly as you expect them to be, and instead open your heart and mind to alternative avenues. When the Hanged Man appears in a reading, you may find your current situation will hit a snag or require some additional time before progress is made. Use this to your advantage. Is there something that you may have missed? Okay. So one of the main messages in here is letting go of control, allowing change for a new direction without fear or causing friction, changing priorities, living in the now without expectations for the future. Okay. So I'm going to invite in some of these other cards. How is that so far behind? Let me fast forward this. So I'm just watching this back as I do it. But that was very far behind. Okay. Okay, Spirit, what guidance have you got for us? What do we need to know? Aha, interesting. So here we have an image of a lioness queen, so a lion. There's the lion and there is the Sekhem scepter. So this for me represents like connecting with our past lives, our starseed origins, and reclaiming the hidden healing powers. There's so much power which is like stashed away inside of us, and I believe this may be telling us that you have like a specific gift or healing ability that your partner or other person may be drawn to or may be in desperate need of. So that is the guidance there. So yeah, you're definitely going through an interesting experience there, because there's the whole sort of like spiritual meditation period, so the transitional period, And then there is also the need for giving healing to your other half. And with your specific gift. Okay, so this is the Goddesses and Sirens deck. It looks like one of the cards was the wrong way. And that's the Muses. Interesting. But I'm going to shuffle that because I'm not sure that I don't think that was meant to pop out. We'll soon see anyhow. Okay, give me a card. I want to... Interesting. So the card which we have is Eostra, who represents new beginnings. And that's interesting because we're in February now, and Eostra or Astara, which is the springtime or the spring equinox, that is coming up next month. But the message of the card is that there's new beginnings on the horizon. So that is very positive. So let me get to the book and I'll see where else, what other guidance is in there. Eostra. So it's page 55. So it says it's time for a fresh start. One cycle ends and a new one begins. I see. Okay. Rejoice, a new you emerges. You are blossoming. So there is a rabbit, which is a symbol of fertility, and the bird, which is a symbol of rebirth, as you will see in Eostra's mythos. Eostra and her rabbit once came upon a small bird dying in the melting snow. It was dawn and still very cold. She held the tiny trembling creature in her hands, trying to revive and warm it, but its life was too far gone to save. Feeling love for the creature, Eostra transformed the bird back into an egg, giving it a chance to be born again. Wow, that's interesting. So Eostra encourages us to shake off the old and begin to move forward again with growth, fertility in all aspects of our lives. This may begin with letting go of any part of ourselves we no longer need and planning something new to replace it. In certain times of our lives, we change and reinvent ourselves a lot, and it is this cycle of letting go and becoming something similar yet different to the beginning of a new venture, the start of a new creative project, or even creating a renewed feeling of health within the body. If you've been feeling drained and chaotic, her bright energy is one of hope and surety that things can change for the better. So that is a very positive sign, the Eostra card. Okay, so I'm going to go in with the tarot now. Thought I was dropping a card then. What else would you like to tell us? Asking that our spirit guides come through, that our angels, our ancestors. What guidance have you got for us regarding our relationships? Please let us know. Thank you, thank you, thank you. cards in here that I want. The Hermit. Oh, okay. So this is very interesting. So we have here the Hermit card. So the Hermit is the wizard, pretty much. He looks like Gandalf if you've seen Lord of the Rings. So he's holding a lantern with a star in it, which is shining brightly, and the star represents like the hope and new beginnings, which is interesting. So that certainly ties in with the Eostra or Astara card. So the Hermit often represents like feelings of reclusiveness, so feeling like you need to shut yourself away and like it's too much effort to be around other people and you're spending time for yourself. So getting me time and like recuperating, and so you may be one of those people who, like, when you've been out around other people and you feel like you've been completely drained by them, so then you need to recharge your batteries by just isolating yourself and just staying at home and staying in your own environment, just so you can refresh yourself again and recharge your energy. Because if you're a healing person, or you don't, well, most people are natural healers, but basically whenever we go out in public, it doesn't matter where we go or who we're around, like if there's other people around, then there is a good chance that other people will either drain our energy or we'll pick up an attachment from other people. So this is why shielding and energy work is so important, because we're always just picking up each other's energy, or people are helping themselves to other people's energy, like energy vampires. They just dip into our energy like it's like it's theirs to just take. Okay, so the next card we had was the Two of Swords. So as I said earlier, swords do represent the element of air, so it may represent one of the air signs. So the air signs: Libra, Aquarius, Gemini. So this represents in a relationship where you're very chalk and cheese. It's showing that you're opposing forces. Like you're here and there and like complete opposites. But they do say that opposites attract as well. But yeah, there is a crescent moon in the sky, so that represents for me that there is potential for growth. There is potential if you can get the balance right, if you can work things out amicably, if you're able to get past your differences, then there is potential for a positive and fulfilling relationship. But it's all about getting the balances right and and probably like reining in the air sign a little bit, because air signs can be a bit full on. People kind of say that about fire signs, but yeah, they're represented by swords. That says it all. Okay. So pulling another card for for this reading, and then I'll move on to the next. Okay. Interesting. Okay, so this card is showing me there's an emphasis here on using skills. So I feel like you may have skills which either brought you and your partner together, or that are going to bring you and your partner together. So if there's a certain skill, like if you have a vocation, like if you're a builder or a jeweler, some form of specialist skill which is somehow going to give you that connection, or it may have already given you a connection with a prospective lover or a long-time lover even. It's just bringing that connection to light. Okay. So next I'm going to pull one of these cards. This is the Hecate Oracle. Okay, what have you got for us, Goddess Hecate? Okay, so this is what we have. It says, Apotropeus, averter of evil. So the emphasis of this card is about deflection. So I feel like you may have been receiving some advances from an unusual kind, but they're advances that you don't want. So you're trying to deflect that energy away from yourself. But yeah, just remember to visualize that you're shielded by light, visualize that you're surrounded by a mirror, which will deflect the energy away from yourself if there's any negative energy. Because often, like, if someone's making an advance upon you, and if they get rejected, they can often lash out as well. So I feel like that is the warning there. So just be ready for that and don't take no shit. Okay. So I'm going to take one of the Mythic Oracle cards for this reading as well. Iris. Harmony. So, wow, so that is incomplete. Those cards are in complete alignment with each other. So there's two opposing forces in balance, the need for balance, and here we have Iris, the Titaness, which represents harmony. Beautiful. So let me read. I don't believe I've ever pulled this card before, which is interesting. So it's number 36. So the numerology of that card is number 9. So 9 often represents completions. So it's a good number. $36. Okay, so it says, Iris is the link between God and mankind, heaven and earth. Through the unity of the sun and water, she creates the full spectrum of colours and brings harmony with her wherever she goes, creating harmonious communication between the realms. The message is, if you've drawn this card, it's time to pay attention to your feelings. If you have found yourself experiencing conflict in your relationship, it may be time to find out why. Are you happy in your heart? Are you looking after your inner needs? Are you confident and comfortable within yourself? Do you listen to yourself and honour your words to yourself? All of these things directly impact your relationships and your ability to communicate with the world around you. This is a time for restoring harmony, first to yourself, then to the world around you. This card is about harmony of the heart, and that harmony can only exist when you take care of yourself. This is a good time to write in a journal, sit in a reflective space, and focus on what you are feeling and what you need at this time to feel nurtured and whole within yourself. This is the time to find the loving space that exists within your heart and truly open yourself up to love, kindness, generosity, forgiveness. In order to do this, you may need to truly take the time to feel love, kindness towards yourself. Only when you have truly nourished yourself can the abundance of love and joy that exists within you flow out into the world. And it is only then that you will be able to create true harmony with others in a clear and balanced way. Okay, that, I feel like that message was definitely spot on there. Okay. So I'm gonna now read the special card which I picked out first. So I feel like this is a significant message. I feel like the message could be for us all. So we'll see. So that is the end of the second reading. So there's 2 readings there. Take from them what you will. 16. Underneath the lizard skin. So it's number 50. Or on page 50. So the number of the card is 16. Underneath the lizard skin, so it says, shedding the skin of the past, temporary vulnerability as you process something new, releasing resistance to change. There is only one constant in life, and that is change. We are not always aware of how things evolve within us. Sometimes the process is slow and organic, while other times its rapid pace is unnerving. This is the state you find yourself now. The swift peeling away of the layers of your life that no longer serve you or protect you. Be willing to let go of everything you know that impedes your progress. Those things you need to release are hindering that flexibility you need to be in the world. You feel resistant to what is still new and unknowable. There's that connection there. Unknowable, with that's the connection with the Poseidon card. But you have nothing to fear. When a lizard sheds its old scales, there is new healthy skin waiting just underneath the surface. The tender pink skin hardens quickly as you release the old to make way for growth and new life. So this is reiterating a message that we had earlier. You need space to breathe and stretch and grow as nature intended. You've been wanting a new life, a new version of yourself, and you're evolving to meet that self. Be present to this new time of discovery. This is a sacred experience that is woven into your destiny. Your soul knows the beauty that is waiting for you. Underneath the lizard skin is a sign for you to trust the process of your own magical discovery. Who are you becoming? The one who is not afraid of shedding the skin of the past to embrace the dream of your future. Okay. I'm just going to have a quick look at to read what I wrote earlier on. So here is something else that I'd picked up from The Road Less Travelled. So when you consider yourself valuable, you take care of yourself in every way. So that is a paraphrase from the book. So when you consider yourself valuable, so it's all about knowing your own worth. So when you know your worth, you know to take care of yourself in every way, and you really prioritize that. Okay, and never settle for less than you deserve. If you massively want to change your other half, changes are you're not the best fit for each other. Okay. So falling in love is temporary bliss that fades. It's an illusion of merging and oneness with another ego, another person. So our ego boundaries melt away, the walls come down. So real love is a permanently oneness and self-enlargement process where our bubble takes in another person or another entity, another being. We then gracefully nurture this loved one, and our limits are often stretched, which requires a lot of effort on our part, and this is where the grace comes in. But I hope this has been useful for you. Please check out some of the other videos, and I hope to see you again. Brightest blessings. Namaste.